Good morning, this is Casey Rynerson. For my AEP 855 video blog 6, I decided that I was going to interview an IT director and a technology coordinator for the Kansas Wildlife and Parks. I am currently a teacher at Spearville High School, and I work with our IT director here quite a bit, but I wanted to get somebody else's perspective on their job and exactly what they do. As you can see here, the first question I asked is, what is your official job title? And this person's official job title, which he works in a regional office out of Pratt, Kansas, and his official title is an Information Systems Manager 1. Then I asked him, what is your official role in this job title? And he said that he's the Information Technology Section Chief. He said he's not the only one of these in the state of Kansas, but there's not a lot, so he's got a pretty important job as far as the website goes. I asked him, how do you do your job on a daily basis? What does it consist of? His response to this question was, my day consists of keeping everyone on their current projects and working on and determining which projects we will move to next. He doesn't just tell people what to do, he's also currently working on several projects himself. He also manages the IT budget to determine what can be bought, replaced, and then determines where to charge specific bills that they have to send out. He's also in charge of looking into the future, into the direction of the website, and then to go into different aspects of the workplace that he has to deal with locally there in Pratt, just helping people with their technology side of it. And then also the daily emails that he gets from hunters, people that are fishing around the state and that kind of stuff. And then also updating the Wildlife and Parks website. I asked him, what kind of support do you provide to the people that you work with locally there? He said for their staff, he works with different issues when they're needed. More often than not, it's just stuff that comes up on a daily basis, kind of the unplanned side of that. And then he also helps direct them on smaller projects when they need some help with the internet and that kind of thing. For the other staff, he helps determine what staff he needs to delegate to what projects, just locally there. I asked him how many people he currently has working directly underneath him, and he has 6. This isn't the whole office. This is just the people that are directly underneath him that he is in charge of. I asked him, what are the best and worst parts of your job, which I thought would be an interesting question, because a lot of these guys just absolutely love everything to do about their jobs. It was his perspective anyway, so he had to think a little bit about the worst part of it. The best was working with the staff to determine the best solution for a project or problem and seeing that solution completed. So from start to finish, seeing the whole problem and then coming up with a solution, and then when he could actually see that solution be put into place to solve the problem, he said that was the most rewarding. The worst, he said, was having to work on audits, just that the state requires. He said that that's not very fun, but it's part of the job. I asked what kind of a contract he had, because teachers were on a yearly contract. Obviously, if we're tenured, it's a little bit different. But I was just curious about what kind of contract he had through the state. And he said it's just a continuous contract. I asked him what kind of education he had to have to obtain this position, and he said that he has a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, and it also has an emphasis in business administration, which he said has really helped him with the business side of the budget that he has to manage and that kind of thing with Wildlife and Parks. I asked him about any continuing education classes that he has to have to keep that position or to stay current with that position. He said that one thing that he had to work on a lot was the state of Kansas project management methodology certification. And he did say that took him a while, but that was a requirement that he had to obtain while in that position with Wildlife and Parks. I asked him if his boss was located locally or where they're at, and he said that his boss is actually located in Topeka, Kansas, at the main Wildlife and Parks office. And so I asked him how they stayed in contact, and he said mainly through chat sessions. He does go to Topeka some, and his boss comes out some, but mainly through chat, email, just talking on the phone, messaging, and that sort of thing. And then the last question I asked him if there was one thing that you could change about your current job, what would it be? And he said he would like to be able to give more power, or have more power to be able to award the people that work really hard for him. He said with the way that you advance in Wildlife and Parks, some people get maxed out and there's no room for them to move up, and he kind of felt like that they were working extremely hard and that hasn't changed their work ethic. He was really proud of that. But he said, unfortunately, there's nothing that I can do to reward them more. My thoughts on this, the reason I did this, I just wanted to get a perspective outside of the education field just to see what it was like as far as working outside of a school for an IT director. I thought it was very interesting. It was good just to talk to him and hear how he does things, how he's working through some of the problems they have, his issues that they have, and then also, the more important sides of the job that he really enjoys. What I learned is I have a greater appreciation for what he does. I always kind of thought he just sat behind a desk and worked with his computer all day, and it's a lot more than that, a lot more management skills, people skills, and especially the business side of it. I didn't realize that there was so much involved with that as far as the budget. I mean, obviously the buying and selling of new and used old stuff that they have, and then buying new stuff, but they have to plan years in advance just with the budget. I don't see myself in that role. I don't think that's something that I currently would look into or be real eager to get into. I think it's just not in my area of expertise, I guess you could say. I see myself more maybe becoming a building principal and using some of those same skills, but using them in a school setting, just because I currently teach and I really like what I do. I like the opportunities that we have here, and I also like working with the kids on a daily basis.